I'm Leonard Nimoy. Join me for In Search of
an Argument.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm Jim Gentili. It's easy to podcast when you hit the right button. I am with my usual co-conspirators, Peg Bennett, Shelly Cummings, John Heinz. Today is going to be short and sweet. Top of mind only. Who's first?
Last time we said we were going to do short and sweet, we talked for an hour. I don't want to go first. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay,
go Peggy.
Okay.
You go, Peggy.
All right. Well, I am ready with top of mind because really what I've been thinking about a lot lately is how into football I am this season, and it's really unusual.
Professional or college football?
Both. Well, really, I'm just watching my team, my IU team, and they're doing so well, and maybe that's why I'm interested because I'm one of those fair weather fans.
Yeah.
But Michigan is stinking it up, which also gives me a little bit of secret pleasure. Hopefully none of my friends are listening. And then my team is rocking it. And then professional too. I'm finding it to be like an art form. I used to just think it was stupid, and everybody's just hitting their heads and getting concussions and and doing dog fights,
suicide.
Yeah,
I'd like you to expand on the art form term.
It's like a precision ballet or something. I mean, have you watched them throw these balls to these people who are being attacked by 300-pound people and they catch them?
Yeah, but the balls are basically like Velcro, and so are the gloves they're wearing.
No, that's not true. You're wrong.
And
they wear gloves that are like fancy.
They wear
tech.
gloves, but that's
bullshit.
But that is not.
They shouldn't wear
thing.
gloves. It's bullshit. It's unfair. It's cheating.
Well, first of all, not all of them wear gloves, and secondly, they are not like Velcro.
I know it's like Velcro.
No,
so that's really been on
they
my
are not
mind.
Like Velcro.
It's not like Velcro, but
yes,
it's more.
It's like Velcro in the way that it helps them catch the ball.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it helps. It has a different tactile nature to it than if you're using your raw hands.
That's
like
true.
anytime,
It's cheating.
like if you put gloves
sticky.
on.
Well,
if you put
it's
gloves
allowed
on
by
to
the
pull
rules,
weeds in the
it is
yard,
Yeah, it's cheating.
manifestly
It's
not
cheating. It's cheating.
But
If I had
some
done
of
it when
these
I was in high school, it would have been cheating.
John, since you just said repeatedly you never watch football, you don't know anything about what you're talking about. Not that that's unusual, but that is manifestly the case.
Every time I see the highlight films, though, or I'm passing by a television where I see it, I feel like I see somebody with a Velcro fist
that
hold out a
certainly
hand and catch
qualifies
a ball.
you to make pronouncements on the subject.
What qualifies? It's football. Do I really? I mean, the thing that doesn't
the fact
require
that you don't
much
enjoy it is fine. The fact that you're trying to make allegedly factual pronouncements is problematic.
That's true. That's true. Peggy, do you feel that way about other sports?
No, lately it's just football.
Interesting.
And I've been enjoying sitting in front of the TV. I mean, maybe it's a COVID-related thing because I'm home a lot now on Sundays when normally I'd be out and about. But I can sit there and fold my laundry or do my second job or
Play Scrabble.
Yeah, play Scrabble or just relax and be amazed by how high they jump, how fast they run, how they don't get hurt.
Do you watch any particular team, Peggy?
Yes, I like to watch the Vikings, and I like to watch the Packers, and I like to watch the Lions, but I don't care about them.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Peg, do you think any part of it, the thrill, is the realization that it's happening live? That like you're part of something live that's going on in the universe outside of your home?
Maybe. I mean, it is pretty wacky to see that stadium totally empty, or some of them have like 200 people in there. So even though it's live, it doesn't feel, I don't know. I don't know, maybe.
I don't know, because that's the only appeal for me of any live sports. It's just this, there is something about things being live, and especially in an era where so little of what we do is live. It's like there is some weird appeal to it. And I don't, not football per se for me, but I mean, just any sport.
I was really the woman who,
Sorry. No,
Sorry.
go ahead. Finish.
So,
Shelly. I'm gonna jump in.
normally they have these beautiful women down on the field who give little commentaries and do some interviewing. But
Little
this
women?
game I watched
boy.
last Sunday, I think it was the
I
Viking
think they're
game.
called
They had
sideline reporters, is what they're
okay, the
titled.
sideline
And they're always women?
reporters are beautiful
They
women.
are not always, but a lot of them are women.
So
God.
the commentator, the main commentator, like the Brent Musburger of 2020,
I know who that is.
was a woman, and she was fantastic. She was a fantastic. Are they commentators, announcers?
Ah.
What are they?
Well, there's
They're
usually
sports.
what they call the play-by-play announcer and then the color commentator.
I
They
thought she
still
was
call 'em that?
excellent.
Yes,
Better
color
than that
meaning as in they're
nasally
giving
voiced
color.
guy that you always see with the little smirky grin on his face. I don't like him.
I don't know who you're talking about, but I know
Well, Jim,
The short
if
guy who's
Aaron
on
Rodgers
NBC.
gets it into the end zone today, he'll be like number
the chief
500 on a list.
football play-by-play announcer for NBC is a guy named Al Michaels, who's been around for a very long time. The backup guy is a guy named Mike Tirico, who used to be on ESPN. The number one play-by-play man for Fox is Joe Buck, whose father Jack Buck was for many years a legendary announcer, and the number one play-by-play person for CBS is a guy named Jim Nance.
How much do those guys make?
Oh yeah, Jim Nance is the one I think
make-
who's bugging me.
Okay,
Jim
well, they make
Nance.
lots and lots and lots of money.
Yeah, I'm sure
Just
they
like
do.
any
It's obscene.
television star or television news person or whatever.
I knew a guy who researched for NBC like factoids that would pop up on the screens of those announcers so that they could announce things about specific players when it came up. That was
Right.
like factually, like, fun fact. This player went to college and so and then met so and so before they started to have lunch or something like that. And it was that was a thankless, low paid, minimum wage job in New York.
Although
But hey.
sometimes that is how people get their entree into
Sure.
the business.
Thank God
Dick
for America. We have a nice
Ebersol-
linear path working your way up to the top.
If Dick Ebersol, who became the president of NBC Sports at one time, was the executive producer of Saturday Night Live, was the executive at NBC when Saturday Night Live started under Lorne Michaels back in 1975. He started as an intern at the Olympic Games working for ABC for Roone Arledge. And Roone Arledge, who was for many, many years, probably about 30 years, the head of ABC Sports, is generally credited with being the person who brought the idea of what they call up close and personal, of having human interest information about the athletes to present during the broadcast.
These are all basically like coastal elites we're supposed to think are cool because when they fart, it's like special, and they
I
went
don't
to
know
like
what that
Princeton because
means.
their dad did.
I don't know what you're trying to say about
All right, so much for my
Who
top
you're
of
talking about?
mind.
Dick Ebersol, Roone Arledge, Jim
I don't know.
Nance. Who does that comment apply to?
I don't know.
It's
I don't
Chris
know.
Collinsworth. He's the one who drives me
Chris
crazy.
Collinsworth is not the play-by-play announcer. He is the color commentator for NBC.
I didn't call him a play-by-play. I just said a
Okay,
commentator.
all right. I'm just clarifying. I didn't say
And so
you
am
did.
I.
Peggy, I'm happy you like football again. That's nice.
It's weird.
And
I mean, it's
I
weird.
Is
think
it nice? Is it really
I think
nice?
he is generally considered
Sure.
to be one of the two best football commentators working right now.
I think he's
Chris
phoning it in. He's like he's
No, he's very knowledgeable. He's very good at analyzing what happened on a play and why it happened.
he sounds
So-
bored. Like these fuckheads. Let's just get this
Kind of
game
like
over
Jim
with.
on this podcast.
The other
I gotta-
great, the other person who's considered the best right now is Tony Romo, who works for CBS. He's much
Isn't he an
younger than
ex-football
Chris
player?
Collinsworth. They're almost all the
considers him
color
great?
commentators are ex-football players. Yes, either ex-football players or ex-coaches or both.
Okay.
I have very
so
little
who
to
wants
offer
to go
professional
next?
sports, except one comment of my family who said that they were excited to hear that that for some reason in college basketball this year, Duke, who historically has a phenomenal team, has a shitty team, and they like lost to somebody that somebody here cared about, and apparently the very highly paid coach of Duke went on Twitter and said, like, maybe it's a bad idea playing basketball during a pandemic. And everybody's like, it's just because you suck. That's why you said that. It's self-serving and you're pathetic. So it's pretty, that's the extent of my knowledge of
let me just
professional
clarify for that.
sports.
Duke has lost 2 non-conference home games for the first time in over 35 years. So that is significant. And they probably don't have as good a team as they normally have. But he is not the only coach who's raised that issue. Rick Pitino, who used to coach at Kentucky and at Louisville and is now coaching at Iona, said they should postpone the entire season. And there have been, I don't know the exact number, but there have been many, many college basketball games that have been canceled as a result of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So there is some considerable question.
It does seem self-serving in his situation, but yeah, I understand.
Well, I mean, I'm not suggesting I'm defending his motives. I'm simply pointing out that there is a reasonable question about this. It's also true that as distinct from professional sports in the United States, where the players have a union, they have fairly strong unions in each of the professional sports who negotiate the terms of reopening under these circumstances. The college players have no union and are not paid at all. They're not even paid.
They get bumpkiss. I agree.
Whereas the colleges make a lot of money off these events.
Yeah, so I'm sure that Duke coach would have been making the same argument if he had a kick-ass team this year.
I mean, I don't, you may say that, but there are other coaches who haven't lost 2 games at home and who've also raised the same issue.
Yeah, they're just morally superior.
Okay. I'm not,
Okay, I'll go to my top of mind now.
Shelly.
That just opened up a can of worms. So my top of mind is not sports related. I had to recently go to, my annual eye exam and had to have a slight little tweak to my eyeglasses. I don't need glasses all the time, mostly when I look at distance or when I'm in a dark room like a movie theater or auditorium, that kind of thing. But I got these new glasses. They came in and I forgot that they are made in Chicago and they're called by this company called State. Which I
know them.
Do you know them?
Yeah. I've been driven by there. Yeah, I know them.
Yeah, and you could go in and see. They invite you to come into their factory to see how their glasses are made. But the most exciting part of it was when I opened the glass case and the cleaner, the towel, the little square thing that they give you, is a picture of the Chicago skyline. And the water and the bridges and the boats are in the harbor.
They're owning it.
Yes. It was it was like broke my heart because I was like, "Oh, I know exactly where that is." They're like on the Ferris wheel, I think. They're literally, I think, on the Ferris wheel taking a picture going out west. So I thought that was kind of fun to see that.
I love it.
That was on my top of
There's a Warby Parker store in Lincoln Park, a hoity-toity neighborhood of Chicago. And I went by it the other day, and I was like, I thought Warby Parker was just an online company.
Oh, no. They have a freestanding store here in Indianapolis, too.
I didn't know that. I thought they were just I thought the whole reason they got famous and made money was because they were like, we can do it all on the internet.
Yeah, right. They send you the frames for you to try on it.
Right. And now they have stores. It's like working backwards.
Yeah. I guess there's some people that like to try them on in person.
So you're never going to get Lasik, Shelly.
I already did. I had it in 2005.
Okay, so that's why you don't need anything for distance.
That's why I don't need anything for close up, I guess. My distance, this is it, and it's very subtle. It's a small change, but enough that it's not perfectly clear. And I could go back and get LASIK again, but they said it would change my close up. And I use my close-up much more often, because I'm in front of the computer and so forth.
Yep.
And I'd have to go back to Chicago to where I had it originally done.
Why?
Because each site is an independent site. Or pay full price here. And I'm not, LASIK usually has lifetime touch-up kind of thing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I'm just waiting until I get a cataract.
Yeah, right. That's
and
next.
then it's LASIK. That's how they fix it, basically.
Yeah, I know a guy who does LASIK, who did LASIK, that thing where they do, what is it called? Monovision or something? I forget what it's called, but it's where one eye is for reading and one eye is for distance. And
Yes,
apparently your brain gets used to it after a week or two.
I've heard that.
I tried a contacts version of that just to experiment, and I hated it. I had a headache the whole week. I was like, this is never ever going to work for me. I'm way too hyper and anal about my vision. I need perfect vision, and
Yeah,
it was a nightmare.
that was offered to me also, and I flatly refused it.
So you have to send us a picture of you in the new glasses. We can put it online.
Okay, I will. They're not all that different than the ones I had before. They're a little bit cat eye, but when my mom
Uh,
saw them recently, she goes, "I don't see the cat eye." I'm like, hmm, it's
All she
defeated.
could see is Joe Biden aviators.
Yeah. So,
Funny.
yeah, that was top of mind.
Nice. For
John.
me, yeah, for me, top of mind is just Christmas cookies. I'm thinking a lot about Christmas cookies, and I'm trying to think about and I'm realizing that although I like, the kind of mild butter cookie with just a slight sugary edge and maybe like cranberries or something lemony flavor, even a little chocolate, something crazy, and the sprinkles. I really crave the straight up like hardcore sugar cookie with like a bright, glossy, glowing colored topping that's like thickly smeared on the top and gives you a sugar buzz for hours. And I was
Hmm.
realizing in the course of feeding my child the last few days, because we're trying to avoid all processed sugar, at least for the first year of life, and I'm realizing how in the holidays, basically all I eat is sugar. I just eat sugar and fat. That's kind of cookies are kind of just junk food is kind of my staple go to. So anyway, I'm thinking a lot about cookies these days.
So let me ask you a question. I love sugar cookies like that, Christmas cookies. My mom makes the best. What's the thinking behind avoiding it the first year of life? Because I can tell you, my sweet tooth has gotten stronger the older I've gotten.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything other than once you introduce sugar to a person, they'll ever be able to stop. Like, you remember those studies that show that like it has the same effect on the brain as like cocaine or like it's like it's once you have sugar just really is all encompassing. It makes you desire it more
Okay.
you can't get enough. They don't it's I don't think it's necessarily a doctor thing. I mean, I'm sure they would probably say don't give me a lot of sugar, but the main thing it's more for us that we're just like we're trying to stall since till he's
Probably a good
one a
idea
month from now,
to
right? Just
limit.
probably a good idea because
Probably a
there's
good
going to be plenty
idea.
of sugar in the future.
I would say as they get older, they're going to be eating some sugar, but it's
Yeah,
not a
of
bad
course.
idea to try to regulate that to some
Yeah.
extent.
I
Yeah.
was in
I was
I was
just
in India with
curious.
a friend from Paris with his toddler, two children, one who's a toddler. This is years ago. One who was a toddler and one who was like 4. And every restaurant we went to in India, we were going around India, and it was 2 gay men, and it was actually 3 gay men and 2 little kids going around India, and we were like bouncing in restaurants. And every restaurant we went to, they would swoop in. The wait staff would swoop in, take the children and go play with them and give them Coca-Colas. So, and he was trying to avoid sugar with them too, and it was impossible. And so that's my dominant memory is like once the pandemic's over and we're going out, I'm like, sugar is inevitable. Just let it happen. Minimal controls.
So I never really heard of that either, and I wasn't, this didn't know much about young kids, but when I visited Jessica when her child was small and he was eating human food or not human food, bigger people
Adult.
food, solid food,
Human.
Yeah,
zero sugar. So all the little like lame,
yeah.
Oh.
sweet, yummy crackers, like animal crackers and stuff, they were all flavorless. Um, that kid was eating avocados like crazy,
Oh
salmon
yeah.
before
Oh yeah.
he was
Oh
one
yeah.
year old.
First food was salmon for my kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
First thing put in his mouth other than milk was salmon.
Yeah, I was amazed sitting there feeding him. He loved
But they eat
avocados and salmon.
everything. They'll eat
Yeah.
anything you stick in their mouth. They're just like whatever. They have no preferences. They don't know. They don't know. But I have a feeling I have a feeling if you fed them sugar, they'd know.
Well, and
But
that's why
maybe
she
I'm
was
Well,
wrong.
kind
their
of
I don't know.
she
body
didn't
would
want to send
react
him
to
to
the sugar.
Right.
school.
Right.
The body
Yeah.
would
She didn't
react
want
to
to
the
send him
sugar.
to
Yeah.
daycare or whatever because she didn't want them to
Because of
feed.
sugar. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she wasn't
Yeah.
ready
No,
for
it's
that.
very. Yeah, it's real. No,
It
it's
just
real.
means that later in life, when they're exposed to sugar, they will desire it even more. It's
Yep, we're doomed. It's
As you
inevitable.
discussed in the French eating segment of our Paris episode, moderation is the key on food.
Yep.
Is a key
Yep.
anyway.
And walking.
Well, that's not food, but yes, walking is probably good for you too.
Okay, so
You're
Jim,
up,
it sounds
Jim.
like you're up
Jim,
next.
what's on top of
Yes.
your mind?
I will tell you, Peggy. Way back a long time ago, when I was in the second
galaxy far,
semester
far
of
away.
my senior year of college, I took an internship at a senator's office on Capitol Hill, and then at the end of that semester, I was offered a full-time job, which I took, and I worked for approximately 3.5 years. So it was really my first adult job out of college as an assistant on the staff of Senator Paul Sarbanes of Maryland. Senator Sarbanes passed away on Sunday, December 6th, at the age of 87. He was born in Salisbury, Maryland. His parents were Greek immigrants. He was a scholarship student at Princeton University. He became a Rhodes Scholar and went to Oxford. He went to the Harvard Law School. In 1970, he was elected to the U.S. Congress representing the neighborhood in Baltimore, beating an incumbent, a long-time Democratic incumbent in the Democratic primary. In the House of Representatives, he was most famous for being the name sponsor of the first article of impeachment against Richard Nixon, the substitute text for that article, which became known as the Sarbanes substitute. In 1976, he was elected to the Senate, defeating a Republican incumbent. He served 30 years in the United States Senate. His oldest son is now a member of the U.S. House of Representatives. He is most famous, probably the thing that he is most known for and most remembered for, is that he was the co-sponsor of the Sarbanes-Oxley legislation passed in 2002 in response to the Enron scandal, which required greater transparency in corporate accounting practices. And I just thought it would be useful to remember him. Or not useful, appropriate, I think is the right word.
That's great. I didn't know that. I didn't know you worked for him. That's great.
I did for 3 years.
Yeah, wow. 3 years.
Yeah.
Damn. Wow. Where was your
That
office?
was a long time ago. Which building was it in?
Yeah.
Well, in those days, when I worked there, they had not yet completed the Hart Senate office building.
Right.
So they had two office buildings, Dirksen and Russell. The senators'
Oh, I know Dirksen.
office was in Dirksen, but because of the crowding, they had
Yeah.
these other older buildings, which I don't think exist anymore, which they called annexes. Like they were like old apartment buildings or old hotels or whatever. And I actually
Like walking distance away?
it was
or
like
they were
across
different part of
the
DC
street or something.
Oh, right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually worked in the annex. What do we call?
How
the
crowded
annex.
did you have an office or a cubicle or
no, I
how
mean,
did it work?
No,
back then?
there were. I want to say there were 4 or 5 of us that worked in the annex. Let's see. Let me see if I can remember this. 1,
Sure you
2,
can.
3,
This is the fun
4,
part.
5, 6 of us worked in the annex, and there were different
Cool.
rooms, and it was like an apartment. It was like somebody
Yeah.
had once been an apartment building and had been converted into an office, but you could still tell it was sort of an apartment setup. Like somebody had you could tell somebody had what used to be the kitchen, and somebody had what used to be the bedrooms or something.
Yeah. There were 8 of you. You said how many of you were there?
6 of
there
us.
were 6 of you working for the Senate.
No, 6 of us in the annex. The staff
annex.
was larger than that. There's a whole bunch of people in the main office in the Dirksen building, but we were in the annex.
That's great. That's awesome. Fun. How do you think about those years? What is your dominant memory or dominant emotion?
There was a lot of craziness. I was going to law school at night, so I was working during the day and going to law school at night.
Oh my God.
There was a lot of craziness in my life because I was, like 22, 23, 24. I was as as Philip Marlowe, the great Raymond Chandler detective, once said in one of his novels, I rated pretty high on insubordination, so I wasn't probably the best staff person ever.
Yeah.
But I have to say, Senator Sarbanes was
What does that mean
always,
exactly, Jim? How were you
I
insubordinate?
wasn't always like the most
Like he said, write a
cooperative
speech, and you were like,
No,
screw
I
you.
mean,
I'm
it
going to
just
write
I tended to
manifesto.
I tended to be more like I tended to be more go against the grain. Like if they wanted to do things one way, I was like, why can't we do it differently?
Okay, I see.
Which is not necessarily the best thing for a staffer. But I will
Right,
say that
right,
Senator
right.
Sarbanes was always very, very nice to me. I saw him, I think the last time I actually saw him was they had a get together for his 80th birthday of a bunch of former staffers and him, and that's the last time I saw him. But he used to come occasionally to the National Labor College for events, and when I
Uh-huh.
worked there, and also he actually came when my father passed away. He came to the funeral, so
Oh,
he was always
wow.
very
That's
nice.
great. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you stayed in touch. You really stayed
I
in
mean,
touch.
a little bit. I mean, it's not like we talked on a regular basis. Or
Would you do that again if somebody offered you a job?
I don't. First of all, it's definitely a younger person's job.
Why?
I mean,
Why?
well,
Just 'cause it pays
it's you're
crap.
working. The hours can be a little crazy, and
Well, you were
and I
going to
mean,
law school at the time. How
yeah,
crazy
but
could they have been?
well,
That's
I mean,
insane.
I used to.
I mean, it's all you were doing,
I
obviously.
mean, you have to understand. When I went to law school, I went to as few law school classes as I possibly.
No, I understand, but it's still a little work. I know it was probably
No, there were there were at least some nights where I was basically at the office all night.
All night, yeah.
But
wow.
But I
But
mean,
in terms
also,
of-
I just don't know that I'm the best person for that job.
But in terms of comparative effect
I think
on
it's
society
a good
or making the world a
experience,
better
and I think
place, how would you compare
some
it to other
people-
things you've done?
Well, let's see. I mean, it was better than some things, and probably not. I wasn't as suited to it as other things, but I don't know. Some people do make a career of doing that, and they enjoy it, and they have the temperament for it, and that's great. I mean, there's a lot of people that are
Yeah.
work on one congressional staff or another for their entire career.
No, I mean, I was listening to, there's a podcast I was listening to called Politics in Question. I started listening to Julia Azari, who's on 538's podcast. It's her podcast kind of with a couple other guys, some guy named Lee Drugman or something from a think tank. Anyway, they were talking on one of the episodes about, they're pretty good, but they're academics mostly and think tank people. But one of the topics they were talking about was like, one of the major things that needs to be done to save America is like professionalize and increase the pay for staffers, for Senate and congressional employees. And I was like, really, is this big of a deal? And then I thought about it and I thought maybe it is, if it's just if all the people working for government other than the actual senators or elected officials themselves are like low paid, like people who are just suffering and getting by, that's not good for government. You wouldn't do that at like McDonald's Corporation or I don't know, AT&T. You'd have like competent people all the way up the chain.
My information on what people got paid is like 40 years out of date. So, but you know that the staffs of congressmen and senators, their salaries are public information. You can actually look at it.
Well, they're publicly controlled, I think. Or maybe they're not anymore. They were until like Reagan or something, and then
there may be some limits on what the top salary can be. But I think the way I recall it, and this was at least I think it was true when I was there, was that the member, the senator or the representative, decided who he's going to pay how much.
Yeah,
but
I just
think
feel
there
like
there may be like no staffer can make more than. I mean, I make more than something. I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
So it wasn't exactly like being on the West Wing.
It was not like being on the West Wing. There is no sphere of human activity that is like
Shoot, that's what I was hoping it was going to be.
You like everything comes out of your lips is like witty and appropriate, and like
everything that comes out of my lips is witty and appropriate. But unfortunately,
not Aaron Sorkin.
I can't say that for the rest of the people on my podcast. That's.
Oh man, you could have gone for some non-podcast insult, but instead you went for us. Damn it!
I know. On that note, I think we need to wrap it up, guys.
Yeah, thanks,
I think we
guys.
do too.
Well, who's taking us out?
I don't know. Who's taking us out, John?
I don't know.
Shelly. I vote for
Sure.
Shelly.
I vote for Shelly.
She
Sure.
has
Take
the
us
new
home.
glasses.
I'll do it. Well, thanks, folks. That's all the time we have for our top of mind. It was a little longer, but as always, we thank you for your patience and for listening to us. We also want to thank Ted Enling for the music, Justin Mullins for the multiple edits that he will have to do, and all for making us sound very good, not talking over each other. If you like this Top of Mind podcast, please rate us in iTunes, write us a comment or a review, send us a voice memo, and you can always tweet us, chat, Instagram, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify. And be sure to join us again very soon.
Can I actually interject one special announcement, Shelly?
Absolutely.
In 1 week, we have a very special episode coming up, which features our redheaded league of Shelly, Peggy, and our frequent guest and friend Beth Shannon. So 1 week from today, you should be listening for that episode.
Very good. Thanks, Jim. Thanks for that great reminder. And we look forward to the next time. Thanks.